Have you ever stopped to think about what's really going on inside your computer every time you click your mouse or tap on your keyboard? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and dive deep into the very heart of your machine, its brain.
So let's start with a really basic question. We throw around words like thinking and processing all the time when we talk about computers, but what part is actually doing all that heavy lifting? What is the brain of a computer?
You got it. It's the CPU, which stands for Central Processing Unit. And that's what we're here to do today. We are going to break down exactly how this amazing little chip works, piece by piece.
Okay, so to make this all super easy to wrap your head around, let's use an analogy. I want you to picture the CPU as a master chef running a crazy busy kitchen. In this kitchen, the pantry and fridge, that's your computer's memory. A customer's order coming in, that's your input, like a mouse click. And the beautiful dish that comes out, that's the output you see on your screen. The chef's job is to take that order, figure out what it means, and then cook the meal. And that, in a nutshell, is exactly what a CPU does with instructions.
All right, so here's what we've got on the menu today. We've covered what the computer's brain is. Now we're going to peek inside the processor. Then we'll get into the simple three-step loop it's always running. We'll even watch a full cycle in action and wrap things up by looking at how we measure a CPU's performance. Okay, let's get right into it. Section 1. Inside the processor. Sticking with our analogy, this is where we push open the kitchen doors and see what our master chef is working with.
So inside this kitchen, there are really three key players that make everything happen. You've got the ALU, or the arithmetic logic unit, the control unit, and something called registers. They all work together, perfectly in sync. Let's break them down one by one.
First up, the ALU, the arithmetic logic unit. This is the part of the CPU that does all the heavy lifting, It's basically the processor's own super fast calculator. It handles all the math, addition, subtraction, you name it, and all the logical stuff like comparing if one thing is bigger than another. Then you've got the control unit, and if the ALU is the calculator, think of the control unit as the kitchen manager, or maybe a traffic cop. It doesn't actually do any of the math itself. Instead, its job is to direct the flow of everything. It tells the memory what data to send, tells the ALU what calculation to perform, and basically keeps the entire operation running smoothly.
And last, but definitely not least, we have registers. Now these are tiny, but incredibly fast little storage spots located right inside the CPU. Going back to our chef, the registers are like the chef's personal chopping board or countertop. It's where they keep the ingredients they need right now for the dish they're currently making. Super close, super fast.
Yeah, I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Registers are like the VIP seats at a concert. Any piece of data that gets stored here gets to skip the long lines to and from the main memory. It's right there, on deck, ready for immediate action. It's all about that lightning-fast access. All right, quick pop quiz for you. Let's say a CPU has 8 of these VIP registers, and each one can hold 32 bits of information. How much data can it hold in total, right there on the chip?
It's just simple math, right? 8 times 32 is 256 bits. Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds tiny compared to gigabytes of RAM. And you're right, but it's not about the size, it's about the speed. And because it's so fast, it's absolutely essential.
All right, moving on to Section 2. Now that we know the key players, the ALU, control unit, and registers, let's see how they all dance together. We're going to look at the fundamental process that a CPU runs over and over and over millions of times a second. It's called the instruction cycle, or what I like to call the three-step loop.
So here's the thing. At its very core, everything a computer does boils down to a constant, never-ending loop. It just follows the same basic set of steps again and again for every single instruction it receives. And what are those steps? It's this simple: fetch, decode, and execute. That's it. Seriously, this little three-step rhythm is the bedrock of literally everything your computer does, from opening a file to playing a game.
To make this super clear, let's bring back our chef. Think of it like a food delivery order. Fetch is when the order pops up on the restaurant's tablet. They've fetched the new command. Decode is the chef looking at the ticket and going, aha, they want a cheeseburger, no onions. He understands the instruction. And execute? Well, that's the chef firing up the grill and actually cooking the burger.
And this is just perfect, right? It shows you exactly why every single step is so important. Because if the CPU just skipped the decode step, it'd be like the chef ignoring the ticket and just grabbing whatever's nearby. You might order a pizza and end up with, well, who knows what.
Okay, section 3. Let's put it all together and watch a cycle in action. We know the parts, we know the 3-step loop, so let's get granular and follow one single command as it makes its journey through the CPU. So here's the blow-by-blow. It starts with a special little thing called the program counter. Its only job is to keep track of the memory address for the next instruction in line. The CPU uses that address to fetch the instruction from memory. That instruction then gets loaded into another special register, the instruction register. Now we're at the decode step. The control unit looks at that instruction and figures out what it's supposed to do. Is it addition, subtraction? And finally, execute. The control unit tells the ALU to do its thing, the calculation happens, and boom, the cycle is complete for that one instruction.
Which brings us to our last big topic. How do we actually measure how good a CPU is at doing all this? We all know some computers are faster than others, but what makes them faster? Let's talk about measuring CPU performance.
So it really comes down to a few things. First, there's clock speed, which you've probably heard of. It's measured in gigahertz, and it's basically how many of those fetch, decode, execute cycles the CPU can churn through every second. But, and this is a big but, clock speed isn't everything. It's also about efficiency, how much work gets done in each cycle. That's measured by something called cycles per instruction, or CPI. And the overall design, the architecture of the CPU, is hugely important. That's actually why a brand new CPU with a, say, lower clock speed can totally smoke an older chip with a higher one. It's just designed smarter and gets more done with every tick of the clock.
Let's zoom in on that CPI thing for a second. Let's do a little math. Say a CPU takes 1,000 clock cycles to get through 200 instructions. What's its CPI? You just divide the cycles by the instructions. So 1,000 divided by 200, that gives you 5 CPI. What that means is, on average, this CPU needs 5 clock ticks to finish one instruction. And in the world of CPUs, a lower CPI is always better. It means you're getting more work done with less effort.
So when you put it all together, here's the big takeaway. Every single thing you do on your computer, every mouse click, every letter you type, even just watching this right now, it's all being powered by that simple fetch, decode, execute loop. And it's happening not just millions, but billions of times every single second. It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. And it really makes you wonder, what happens when we push this tiny fundamental loop to its absolute physical limit? What's the next step?